Crafters, welcome into Guys Craft 2. My name is John, and it is the last live for 2025. How crazy is that? So I hope you all have had an amazing weekend. Hope you've had a great holiday weekend. And unfortunately, if you're in the same position I am, excited and ready to go back to work on Monday. So I only have the one day in the office this week, right? So I'll go out of the office tomorrow, work from home Tuesday, and then we'll be at the quilting retreat the rest of the week. So could be worse, but at the end of the day, I really was hoping for that $1.7 billion, but you know what? It wasn't meant to be, and it didn't work out. And that's okay, because you know what? That's a lot of fabric to have to deal with. Can you imagine winning that kind of money? I would actually probably get to meet Tula Pink in person at that point. So welcome in. Thanks for being here. If you're a new subscriber, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Our numbers continue to grow, which gives us a little confidence that we might be doing some of the things right. Not sure what all that means, but we appreciate each and every one of you. So let's take a look and see what's going on. So Balloonist, my buddy down in Tucson, was first in today. Welcome in. Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. So always good to see you. I will get to meet Balloonist in just a few short days at the quilting retreat. So that is very, very exciting. And who else is here? Jackie's here. Hey, Jackie, welcome in. Thanks for being here with us this afternoon. Janet's here. She says, hi, everyone. Janet says, windy thunderstorms in central Illinois. That's not good this time of year. I wonder are you all cold, though, or just, I'm thinking with thunderstorms, you're all actually probably unseasonably warm, which really technically we are, but I don't consider when we're still in the 70s and that in Phoenix to be unseasonably warm when I lived with 115 all summer. So I think we're just riding the ship, to be honest. All right, let me jump this up here where I can see it a little bit better. Pat's here. Pat, good evening. She says rain and sleety in Michigan. Charlotte's here. Hey, Charlotte, welcome in. Thanks for being here. There's our friend Brian. Hey, Brian, welcome in. Judy is here. Hey, Judy. And who else? Oh, Judy says they had a tornado in northern Illinois today. Ew, scary. As you all know, I don't know if you do or remember or not, I grew up in Louisville. So it was interesting. I remember a couple of things, right? I think it was in 77, 78 is when we had the major snowstorm where we were literally out of school like 6 weeks. And to make up snow days and all that, we had to go on Saturdays, which meant I had to go to school on Saturday because my mother was a school teacher. So I had to go to school on Saturdays. It was awful. And I just remember I don't even think for weeks we got out of the house. That's when Louisville decided that the smart thing would be equipped the dump trucks, the garbage trucks and that with snow plows, because we didn't even have enough snow plows to even think about taking care of roads back in those days. And of course, I was a child in middle school, so I just remember the fun of getting ready, just willing to stay home until they told us we were going to have to make it up on Saturday. Hey, Stitching Life Together. Amanda's here. Hey, Amanda, welcome in. Thanks for being here. All right, I think that's everybody. If I miss somebody, it is not intentional, guys, as you know. So hopefully we'll catch up. All right, I touched something I shouldn't have touched. All right, there we go. Oh, Amanda says, I'm listening while working from home this evening. You know what? But there's not a better place to work. I will say it's so funny. Like, I hate going to the office because I just hate Phoenix traffic, but I appreciate being in the office. I think the networking in that I accomplish a lot, but it's because of that I get nothing done. So I end up having to come home at night and make up for all the networking time I had during the day, or my office is up on the 5th floor on the other end of the building. So just to get a simple soda, I've got to wait on an elevator, go down. It's like, it's like a 10, 15, 20-minute round trip just to get a soda. It's just like, it's just too crazy. So, but when I'm home, I get so much work done, but I do feel like it's difficult sometimes to build that relationship and to be able to just step out and ask somebody. But the problem is, since all of us have a flex work schedule, you never know when you're going to step out of your office, who's going to be there. Like, I have no idea who's going to show up in the office tomorrow. So our offices are open Monday, Tuesday, Friday this week. Oh, actually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because we don't get New Year's Eve. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Friday. So I have no idea who all's actually working. I took Wednesday and Friday as vacation time, of course, to be at the retreat. So we'll see how that goes. Mama Jan says she's there sewing away. Good lady. She is fun. She is anxious for the retreat as well. She keeps sending us more and more ideas. I've got all the gift bags done. I've started pulling other stuff together. I've still got to finish out the selfie station and a couple of other things. I'm more concerned about how to pack it all and get it there than I am anything else at this point. Hey, Sally, welcome in. Thanks for being here. We missed you on the Holiday Quilting Bee, but I hope you had fun with your man. So believe it or not, I did get all the packages in the mail this weekend or this week. So all of those are in the mail. You should have gotten an email if you were one of the winners from the Holiday Quilting Bee, and hopefully see those packages coming soon. I can't say the same for my children. I did get theirs shipped last week, knowing that we shipped them late, that they weren't going to get them until after Christmas. And in fact, I still have my nieces here, and I said all day I was going to put hers together and ended up not getting hers together. So it's still sitting here. So I still need to finish that and get that to either UPS or the post office this week, just depending on how big and how much hers weigh, because I have learned the post office doesn't like to take anything over a certain size, and they absolutely don't want to take anything over a certain weight. So I say all of that to tell the story of my partner agreed to take the children's boxes for me a week ago this past Friday. So it would have been like the 20th. So again, we knew they weren't going to get there in time, but because we, run the Etsy store in that here, I'm able to put all the labels, weights, everything together. So all he had to do was take it to UPS, and knowing the kids were going to get the packages, I think like the 28th. So he he took the packages for me. I looked the next day on UPS to see if they had updated the shipping and when they would get there. They had not. In fact, they said they were still waiting on the packages. Looked a couple of days later, still waiting on the packages. And I'm like, oh my God, how long is it going to take UPS to scan a barcode and get these? And because we dropped them at the UPS store. So he actually, on the way home from work one night, stopped and checked the bin where he dropped them. And he's like, no, the bin's empty. So, they've got them. They just, again, have no idea why UPS hasn't scanned them. So this weekend, he did go to UPS to figure out what happened with the packages and why they've never been scanned. When he got home, he let me know that he misunderstood UPS for USPS, and actually went to UPS with the packages, but realized that's probably not what I meant, and that I actually meant the post office. So he left our UPS at the post office, to which the post office says that happens regularly, but UPS really doesn't pick up from the post office, but they kind of have an underlying agreement, and it happens more frequently than you would think. But typically what they will eventually do is out here, they'll end up putting them in lost mail and send them to downtown Phoenix. And at some point, someone from UPS ends up picking up some of those packages. But that could be 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. You have no idea. So by the time he tells the story, I actually checked the site again, and miraculously the barcode had been scanned and they were in Louisville, Kentucky. So how they left Arizona in Sun City and Surprise and got to Louisville, but never were scanned until they hit, is beyond me. But anyways, needless to say, the long and short of the story is my daughter gets her package tomorrow. My son gets his on Tuesday. And then the second package that was shipped with all three for my daughter, she gets hers. That one goes on Friday. So how one's getting there tomorrow and one's not getting there till Friday, but all three of them went together, I don't know. But so be it. So he felt really bad. For me, it happens. I wasn't so worried about it. What, like we weren't going to be late anyways, and there was nothing perishable in there. So it is what it is. I like the book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. Just over it. Life's too short. There's too much going on. And I know my kids, right? I know my daughter especially. She's just happy whenever she gets something. So it's like she could care less. She knows it's coming. She knows it'll get there, and she'll appreciate it when it does. So, interesting enough, the grandkids, I had not really pre-bought a lot of stuff for them, so I ended up buying Amazon stuff for them. And Amazon's so backed up, like they were supposed to get a package. They got one yesterday. They were supposed to get more tomorrow, but now they're not getting that till Wednesday. Another package was supposed to get there Tuesday, but it's not getting there till Friday. And I'm like, whatever happened to 2 days with Amazon? I don't even know. I noticed my membership for Prime has not gone down, but the level of service certainly has. So, all right, I rattled on enough. All right, let me jump back and see, because the last thing I saw was Sally joining us. And who else is here? Hey, Joydy, welcome in. Always fun when Joydy joins us. Sally says, was a good Christmas with him here. He'll be back for New Year's Eve, and then we go bowling where I worked. It's fun. That is awesome. We used to go, so we have a local bowling alley. My bowling ball actually smells like grapes. So, of course, I have to have a purple bowling ball. And they have scented bowling balls at the bowling alley. So when I actually bought mine, I bought a purple one, and it is actually scented. It smells like grapes. So I'm not sure why people want scented bowling balls, but it is what it is. It's the bowling ball I wanted. But I did not buy it because it was scented. But I did just make bowling towels. I actually put the Guys Craft 2 logo on one corner, and then on the other corner, I do want to put some bowling embroidery in that, and I haven't done that yet. So, but we'll have our balls when we go back to start bowling again. And I enjoy it. It's nice to get out and do that. It's cheap enough here in the community, but I can tell you, wow, it's crazy this time of year. So with all the snowbirds in, definitely gets crowded here. Hey, Alex, welcome in. Thanks for being here. We're going to miss you this week at the retreat, but thanks for joining us on the live this afternoon. Brian says, I sometimes mix up UPS and USPS. Yeah, it's easy enough to do. Interesting enough, 99% of the time we ship USPS. I ship everything via the post office, but I do that because they literally gave us a postal box bin that I can sit on the front porch, and I can email the postman, and he will stop when he drops off our mail and get out of the truck and run up and pick our packages up. And so even sometimes if it's $1, $2 more to ship post office versus UPS, I still ship post office because they'll do home pickup for free. And so for us, it's just too convenient. So that's what I told him. I said, I don't understand how you got confused, because we never have to go to the post office. They always come here. So, and again, he just laughed. And like I said, guys, life's too short. It's a hilarious story. I like telling the story because it makes him just shake his head. But he's an amazing guy, and I was just happy that he went to the store for me that day. But in the future, I will be a little bit more confirming. Hi, Alex. Alex, Brian, where is your blue uniform? Hmm. Hi, Jean. Hi, Jean. Hey, Jean. Welcome in. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. Yeah, Charlotte's the shipping is crazy insane. It is anymore. It has gotten so ridiculous. Yeah. Sally says I've had post office go to San Bernardino and then to PA. I shipped one via the post office to my niece in Virginia, and it left Arizona to go to Florida, left Florida, went back to Hawaii, and left Hawaii and went back to Virginia. And I thought, no wonder you all can, no wonder the postal rates are so high. I would have liked to gone where the package went. So it's just amazing. I thought, yeah, because I track it. I track my packages and watch them. Jody says Brian needs his uniform, John. See, Brian wouldn't let none of that craziness happen. Pacos, they do that so they don't smell like sweaty hands. I guess that's true. I never thought about it. I used to bowl on a league when I was in middle school, high school, and then when the kids were young, we bowled on a bowling league for a couple of years as our date night out because it was a cheap way of getting out. And that it was an interesting crew that we were on. I wouldn't mind being on a bowling league here. Problem is, I don't want to be obligated once a week, every week. We have what they call a split league, or it's not 10 pin, but we do have a league kind of that meets, but they only meet every other Saturday night, and it's really an interesting setup the way they do it. So I thought about. I actually joined that 2 years ago, and then it never ended up going. I need to get my partner. He needs to get a new bowling ball, and we might end up joining that. But because it's cheap enough to bowl in that, and it's only every other Saturday, and it's not. You don't have to. You just sign up like the Wednesday before that you're coming, so you don't. You're not even obligated to every other Saturday. Um, um, oh, Sally says her friend has one, and its name is Gilbert. I didn't name my bowling ball. Interesting. I named most of my machines in that, but I have never named the bowling ball. I think it's because I just don't bowl enough right now. Oh, Pat. Oh, talking about Quilt of Valor. So interesting that you have Quilt of Valor questions. So as you know, Villa Rosa does have QOV patterns because QOV does have very strong standards about what size, type, blah, 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 qualifies for QOV. Our quilt club actually does honor quilts just for that reason. So we're not part of the Quilt of Valor in that, but we do what we call honor quilts. I think it's every one Wednesday a month they give those, and I think we only do it from like I'm going to tell you like September to May or September to April. I think we take the summer off, but different ones contribute to it. I tell you what, some of those quilts that come out of our club for honor quilts are absolutely gorgeous. In fact, the Quilt of Valor, the stars and or sparkles and stripes, that quilt that we did on a quilt along back in May, it may have been, or July. And it was actually a subscriber that called out that pattern. I entered that in our quilt show. So that will go in our quilt show in February. And then I actually entered that same quilt in the Arizona Quilt Guild show in March. So for me, it's the best quilt that I have done. I love the way it turned out, the fact that I've got the star applique, so it's got kind of that mixed media on it. helps, I think, helps me as a new quilter, but I'll be anxious just to get it in, have it on display. I don't anticipate winning anything. It will be interesting to see the comments from the judges of the two different shows, and that'll help me decide what I want to do going forward. Both shows are free to enter, so I'll be anxious to see what that looks like. Oh, Alex says she's already saving for next year. There you go, girl. We definitely would like to have you out here and give you some of this nice warm weather that we're having. Yeah, I can tell you what, one thing I did learn really quick is I did buy my own bowling shoes. I am not doing that. 60 by 80 must be the QOV size. I wasn't sure, to be honest. Amanda says she did get some sewing done today. How cool is that? Um, oh, interesting. QOV has a max size of 72 by 90. Interesting. Yeah, Brian says they should have a sub sign up at the bowling alley. That was always, and that was the worst thing, right? Because if you had to miss a week, then it was your responsibility to find a sub in that. And it's like, it's not easy to, it's not like that many people are bowlers anymore. And most of them that want to be on a league are already on a league. So I just never understood why they run the league so long instead of doing like a fall league, a spring league, doing the breaks over the holidays and that just to me would make a lot more sense. But they've never asked me, but I think it's funny they've never changed that practice either. Oh, wow. Sally said her parents met bowling and they were married 61 years. How amazing is that, Sally? That just doesn't happen nowadays, does it? Pat says, awesome, John. I'm a group leader for a Valor group in Michigan. It touches the heart when we see the veterans get their quilts. These quilts are healing. Yeah, I will say it's interesting. I have not been to one of the honor quilt ceremonies here. I know we have like snacks and that for them. We do a little um, ceremony per se and present them with their quilt and that and kind of walk them all through. And I think it's awesome. They always have pictures in the newsletter and that about it. And it is one SIG group, right? Special interest group that does that. But it's open to all of us to go on the Wednesday evening that they do it. I just never have gone, but I really would like to go because I know some of the guys there are very appreciative of the recognition, especially like when you look at our Vietnam veterans or some of the Desert Storms or some of those that were in more unpopular conflicts. But they did their duty, right? They did what they were supposed to do, and we don't always appreciate the fact that they did what they signed up to do. Oh, Pat says they have sizes because if you're doing a group presentation, you don't want one person getting a lap quilt. Yeah, that's true. It makes sense, right? I mean, and I'm sure our honor quilt group has a consistent size or theme that they try to go for. It's really interesting to see the variety that we put out. All the different, it's not necessarily the sizes, but the different patterns and all that come to light in there. So I did get one quilt done this weekend. Actually, I got two done, but I'm not showing you the other one because I hate the way it turned out. It was this design that I worked on, but I didn't like the way it came together. So I've got to do something to kind of square it up and make better sense. So we'll see. I ended up sticking it in the closet because I just got frustrated with it. But I did get my Tula done, and I am so excited about this. I would love for the boyfriend to get this long armed for me, but we'll see. He has not been in a long arm mood lately, but I think this turned out super duper. I love how some of the animals on here really just jumped out. I don't know if you can see, but like the giraffe, right? Look how cool the giraffe showed up in this design and that. And I'll be honest, guys, none of this was fussy cut. So this is what it is. This is just the way it turned out. Interesting enough, I had bought this as a kit, but had I done this as a kit and done the pattern that they wanted, it would not have shown up. I don't think it would have shown up as well. Plus, I love this. It's not a vertical, so a diagonal stripe that came out in this pattern. How cool is that? So I really, really like this pattern. It's actually an AccuQuilt pattern. And so I was able to cut everything on the AccuQuilt because as you know, I am trying to avoid hand cutting at all cost. So I'm really, really anxious for boyfriend to get this on the long arm so we can get this done because this is really going to be pretty for spring. And how cool would it be to hang something back here like this? So I'll have to work on that a little bit more to get that done. But I'm anxious to see that done. I did get the Christmas quilt done. I think I showed that to you all at the holiday quilting bee. I don't remember, and I don't see it in here now, so I have no idea where I put that one. But I did get that one done. Like I said, I got the other one done, and now this is what I'm going to work on next. And I actually had made a special trip to the store, bought this, cut this, actually a few months ago. So this is an AccuQuilt pattern. I had really, really wanted to put this in the quilt show. And so I actually went and bought the fabrics and all that to do this. This finishes out 54 by 54. So it's not a huge quilt. And I thought that's even better. But I just really, I don't know, something about that pattern just resonated to me. So I love it. Thank you, gorgeous. Thank you, guys. That means a lot. And that's my first Tula quilt per se. Oh, Alex says, I like finding different patterns that aren't necessarily patriotic and making them patriotic. Yep. It is just a matter of how we throw the colors together, right? It's all about fabric selection and that. Sally says they were 27 when they married and they had to wait for league dollars in order to go get married in Vegas. Yeah, my parents were married, I think 60, 65 years. Mom married at 16 and my sister actually married at 16 and my aunt back in the day married at 14. So it's too crazy. All right, so look at the fabrics that I picked for this one. So I love this. Of course, I like purples anyways, but the purples and pinks in that just really was cool. Of course, I've got white to go with it. I chose this as the blue design, which is really the companion, right? So really didn't necessarily mean to do that way. And then I'm doing a light blue background with this. So I am really anxious to get that started. So we will see how that turns out. Hey, Charlotte. So it is an AccuQuilt pattern. It was free on the AccuQuilt website. But like I said, I'm also a member of the website. So I do pay a fee like $150 a year or whatever to get free shipping and discounts and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure if it's free to everyone, but it is called Go Playful Star Throw Quilt. So Playful Star is the name of that pattern. And I just really liked it. It was so different. So that is what I'm going to try to start on tonight. I might end up taking that to the quilt retreat. We'll see. I am taking my sewing machine to the retreat, but I have no, I'm not naive enough to think that I'll be able to sew much or get anything done. It's going to be exciting. We have 8 registered participants, so we fell short of the 14 that we had hoped for, but we will have 8, so we're excited about that. like I said, we've got all the gift bags and all that ready. We've got the projects and all that assembled and ready to go. Plus the menu we just finished. I need to place orders to get all the groceries ready to be delivered for that. But with all that said, it was, there's just so much going on. It was like, okay, so what do I want to focus on first? What's the most important thing? And so for me, the most important thing is making sure that everyone gets and has what they need and not so worried about me getting a project done, at least that particular week. So we'll see how that ends up working out. Okay, so now looks like it's these two. Oh, all right, so that one goes down there. So I need to, so four. All right. So I would like to really start working on this tonight. So let's see if we can get those going. This is going to be interesting. So now I got to make sure. I feel like I'm missing a size that I need. Small. And then the medium, which I think these are actually the medium. Oh, maybe that's the medium. Okay. I think that's what it is. All right, so let's get these started tonight. Oh, and see, I just sit here and laid all this out, and as soon as I sew this, I'm going to want to press them. So now I need to rearrange all the fabrics. Let's do that real quick. So then we'll have room for John to be able to turn the iron on to press things out. I did not think that ahead. So we will see. I know I did show you all the pink fabrics that I'm doing for the Caledonia. So I am going to do a, I don't know that I'll do it as a live, but I will be doing a Villa Rosa pattern every month. Was my focus going into 26. So this was part of the December collection, and I chose this one, but I chose the gray blush from Wilmington to do that pattern with. I think these blues and grays are just beautiful. Somebody commented on the live that these look like the 90s pinks and grays, and they do. They're just so pretty. And interesting enough, my daughter was never a pink person. She was always a blue teal person. So she would have absolutely loved this had it been in teal and pink. So she was a big teal and pink person. So look for that coming up in January. That will probably be just a recorded video that's released. Is probably what's going to happen, but we'll see. Still a lot of moving parts, trying to figure out what's going into 26. I did start working on the cameras and that for in here, but then have not been able to get everything put together for the equipment and that needs to happen in here. And I am switching software the end of this month. So I have no idea, guys, next Sunday, if I'm going to be live, what that's going to look like or what that will be like. We are switching over to Ecamm. For Apple users, it's the best software that just makes a lot of sense. But the problem is it's definitely different. It actually gives me a lot more features. So I think in the end, I'm going to like having it a whole lot better. But again, I still have to get used to just using that software. Gosh, guys, we're over halfway through the live tonight. I feel like I've just rattled on and I haven't even sewn the first piece. I think that's why I want to do, like when I start the Villa Rosa patterns, I want to be able to maybe do that as a recording. We'll see. All right, so there's the first one. Oh, Baluna says, will we have black eyed peas on New Year's Day? No. So you're talking about Hoppin' Jack, is that right? So black eyed peas, we can definitely get us a couple of cans of black eyed peas. My niece actually always makes that because it's supposed to bring us good luck in the year. I have never made it, but I know some folks say just eat. You just need to eat black eyed peas. I don't mind black eyed peas. I don't know why. I can't tell you the last time I had them, but I know they're supposed to bring you luck, good luck in the new year. So, with that said, it probably would make sense for us to at least get a can or two of those so we all can at least have a couple of spoonfuls if that's what we want, right? Oh, Katrina said the kids just pulled in. It's been wonderful having a wonderful time. Can't say I'm ready for them to go home. They fly out tomorrow at 6 a.m. Oh, how crazy. I totally relate to that. So I hope you have had an amazing time and that they've got a lot of love and attention from you because that's what it is about, right? Oh, Charlotte says, oh, now I get your question. What pattern did you use for the Tula? I'm printing the Playful Star pattern now. I am looking to see if I have that pattern out, and I don't think I do. I think I put it in the other room. So let me, on this table though, is my one of my AccuQuilt books. Let me just grab it real quick because John's one of those folks that are it's so organized that he's not always organized. But I keep all of my printed AccuQuilt patterns in this book. Well, this is one of six because I tend to print the patterns faster than I don't have it. So these are not that particular pattern, but I did get it off the AccuQuilt under the patterns on their site. I liked it because it had the half square triangles, then had the small triangle with the larger piece in that. But I don't have it. In fact, because I've got another one laid out that I just finished cutting, which is fabric that I bought from Matthew over at Mixed Domestics, but it's different too. So I've been trying to change up, but I've been trying to do a lot, really just looking at the AccuQuilt patterns. Interesting enough, I bought their membership so I could actually design and do my own patterns on their website, but I have yet to do that. So um, I hope to actually play around more with that software and that. I don't like the way this one went together. And it probably really doesn't matter. I'm probably being too picky. And then when I get like this, I feel like I'm being like, God, I can't think of her name now on, Kimberly, right on at Quarter Shop. Because I mean, it just amazes me the stuff that she'll rip out and put back together. And it's like, oh my gosh, I wish I could done it that badly the first time, right? I mean, her skills that woman has is just crazy. But we all we all do what we think makes sense, right? Sally says, I think they taste like dirt. Oh my goodness, girl. Kat says she's going to look for the pattern at the quilt shop. Yeah, a lot of the shops carry Villa Rosa. Because and I will be honest, I like Villa Rosa because they're reasonable enough. It's great that you can just log in and order it for $2, and that includes shipping and all of that. But seems like it always takes a week or so to get it. That they don't necessarily ship as quick. But my big problem is I don't I appreciate that they have the download available, but I want the cards, right? I want the actual, the hard pattern, not paper patterns. So And I've noticed some of the older patterns, they actually don't even do the cards anymore. You can only get the paper pattern. And it's like, yeah, that doesn't work for me. All right. I do have the announcement of the next holiday quilting bee coming up. So that is coming out just after New Year's. And I was working on that today. That recording needs to be cleaned up a little bit, and that will get posted. So our first holiday quilting bee, guys, for 26 is Martin Luther. So MLK Day, it is a holiday for me at my job. So as you know, we do holiday quilting bees on the holidays that John gets, not necessarily on all federal holidays, because crazy enough, we have all this time off now. Then we have Martin Luther Day, and then we don't get another holiday until Memorial Day, which really is a long dry spell. My last company, we actually got Columbus Day, we got Good Friday, so it was nice. We ended up basically with a holiday every month, and the exception to that was June. And right before I left, they were actually looking at putting Juneteenth as a holiday. And so it would have worked out that we would have actually had a holiday every month, which is pretty remarkable for most companies nowadays. And then, of course, that was prior to them getting bought by the crappy company. So I'm sure that company has taken everything away from them, because it was one of those that was a small family-owned company that are multi-billionaires, and all they cared about was how much more money they can make for great grandkids, and that it was pretty pitiful. My daddy always told me, you want to work for a family-owned company, you want to work for an American company, and I always hated to tell him, I hate to tell you, but the European companies treated me a whole lot better, except when it came to vacation. They would take off all summer and make me work. But beyond that, they actually treated me better than any of the American companies I worked for, which is really sad. It's just the way our economy and all that has become, I think. See, I think this is going to be pretty. Look at that purple and blue together. So I think that is going to become really neat. I'm going to press open those seams. Balloona says it's a Southern tradition. I have a can ready to come with me. There you go, girl. That works. We have a nice, big, huge kitchen, I can tell you. I am anxious to see. The only crazy thing is she only has a Keurig coffee maker. I drink way too much coffee for that. So I actually bought our own bun coffee maker with a thermos, so I can make plenty of coffee and make sure coffee stays available during the day. So see how that works out. Well, Jordy says I like pinto beans with cornbread. I do too. I don't mind pinto beans. Believe it or not, I was raised on navy beans. So we always had navy beans was the big thing. And I remember boiling down the actual hard bean and putting baking soda in them to draw out that green stuff. So sorry, guys, I just realized I put these together incorrectly. So now I get to rip them both apart, because instead of paying attention to what I was doing, I actually sewed these incorrectly. So let's now go back, work on taking these apart. Brian says, I just have a few drinks and let the universe do what the tell you what, I don't think there's any way of choosing our destiny, right? I mean, what's going to happen is going to happen. And I think, unfortunately, as we age, we learn that. I know in my much younger days, I always thought I was the influencer, in that I could help predict or determined what was going to happen. And I've learned now just that that's not the way life works. And it surprises people. They're like, I can't believe you didn't get upset or mad about that. Or, and I'm like, I hate to tell you, no one cares, I mean, and if you don't think that's true, uh, talk to some of these people in customer service. Most of them could care less. Um, and because there is no such thing as customer service anymore. And I think that's why so many folks have gone to Amazon and other things as far as online ordering. Like I can't tell you the last time I thought about. I don't even go to the Sam's Club anymore. The only one I go to is Costco because I just don't like Instacart and the markups. And I do like going to Costco. It's not like I don't enjoy going to the stores, but it's just so much simpler just to get online. And I actually save money shopping Sam's and that online because I don't, I start putting things together and go, wait a minute, I'm not spending that tonight on that. And so I go back and actually start taking groceries out. So that does make a difference. And I'll tell you, Joydy, to show you how Southern that I am, I still have the iron corn stick pan. So I grew up, mom always made corn sticks. And that takes a lot more effort in that to do. But I still like corn sticks. Now, I will admit, the last few times I've made cornbread, I typically make it in a iron skillet. But I don't make the corn sticks because I usually don't have the patience. But and I tend to use anymore since it's just the two of us. We do Jiffy cornbread, and so I don't mind the Jiffy cornbread. I don't like a lot of sugar in that in my cornbread, though. I can tell you that. Never understood why. Sugar goes in cake, not cornbread. But I do like honey in my cornbread. That's how Southern I am. We still do the sticks. Hey, Inez, welcome in. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. Always good to see you drop in. Katrina goes, I've done nothing but eat since Christmas Eve. Girlfriend, I so get that. I feel that way. Last night we decided we just wanted something simple, and we decided we would just order a pizza. And actually logged into Domino's and somehow miraculously had a free pizza. So that ended up, we had a small, medium. We had a medium pizza last night for dinner. So it was just simple. Oh, Valuna says she has one of those. See, I just, and there's nothing like doing the corn cobs, doing the corn sticks like that. There's just something different about it. Zaza Lita is in the house. Hey, Zaza, welcome in. Thanks for being here this afternoon. Look, better late than never, Danielle. She says, I'm late for a very important date, girlfriend. And I missed your EPP. I wanted so badly to watch that and actually told everything to remind me that you had the paper piecing coming up, and I still missed it. Because I just want to eat all the Christmas cookies so they will go away. What I've done is actually set a lot of that aside, and we're taking it to the retreat, which I'm assuming is where Russ is tonight, maybe. I've been meaning to text him all day to ask him when he was headed to the retreat, because I know he had that coming up, but I'll be honest, I never got it done. And so I'm not sure if he's at the retreat already or when the retreat starts. But I know he was there last year because, in fact, Stephanie left her retreat a little early to come see me at Stitch in Heaven last year. So, or this year, right? So, but I'm anxious to see. All right, let's do this right this one time, John. We don't want to have to do this yet again. All right, so it goes this way. All right. Because it would be nice to get one block done on the live tonight. I know my partner sometimes thinks, oh, you just sitting there and chat forever. You don't ever get anything done. he got a new Nintendo Switch 2 for Christmas because he has a good partner. We actually played the new Mario Kart last night, and I was amazed at the graphics and how much that stuff has changed. And I actually did okay. I held my own last night on Mario Kart. So it brings back a lot of memories. I played Mario Kart with my son a lot with him growing up. So it was always cool and always fun. And see if that one doesn't go there. It's, which one is it? It's this one. No. It's this one. Right? Yes. All right, guys. All right, so we're going to get one done tonight. Look, I got 9 minutes. I can do this. I can make this happen. Oh, Judy says, I think he's at the retreat now. I wonder, because I know he didn't do his live yesterday because I saw what he had posted. I love the Q&A that he did with Fran. He's so lucky to have a sister like her because, I mean, she's got to have a lot of patience to put up with someone like him. I can only imagine what kind of brother he was growing up. And I can say that because I think Russ is a great guy. But I know he didn't go live yesterday, and I know I was watching his bloopers and some of the other things that he posted, which were pretty cool. So, but I did, I tell you what, she did an amazing job on her boxes. I have, so far for 26, I have decided that I am going to do soft squares with Lynn again. I really did like overall the B box. I thought Lynn did a nice job. And I think Lynn is such a great person in that. I just want to help support her small business because I think she brings a lot to us in the community. I know she supports the Quilts of Valor, I think, up in Michigan somewhere. So she does a lot of different things out in the community. So I did purchase her box, and then I did pre-buy the Bella Rose box for 26 because I really, really liked all the projects and all the stuff that Bella Rose put in. And I would like to at least once a quarter or so do one of those projects. So I need to look at those. I've put some of the other stuff away, but I have not really gone back and sorted through their box since I opened it on my birthday. So I still need to do that to kind of get that done. But I was really happy with their box overall. So I think it had a lot to do. So look at this. Is this not going to be a cool quilt block? So I really like these colors. These colors just really jumped to me. And I actually bought them here in the community. So I didn't have the biggest selection when it came to buying the colors. It took me a while to figure out because I liked the colors that AccuQuilt actually showed on the pattern. And I mean, I like the pattern itself, but I didn't, sometimes I want to be creative and think about doing it with my own colors. Like Alex said, it's fun to, make a patriotic quilt out of something that wasn't necessarily designed to be a patriotic quilt per se. But I really liked these colors, which is one of the reasons I think I liked the pattern. So ended up grabbing that. All right, so there's that. Cool. This one definitely needs to get squared up. It probably would have helped if I had sewn it correctly the first time, not had to rip it apart twice. But probably I need to get used to doing something a little bit more complicated on my lives and being better prepared. I will say I was running around most of the day trying to catch up. Oh, I love Joey. Joey says, hey, Danielle, this is your regular time. No worries. Pat says she usually freezes those leftover cookies, but they're not making it there this year. Oh, look at Danielle. She says, I showed today from start to finish of making flower blooms and then make a quilted postcard from it. I don't know. I'll definitely watch it because, like I said, I bought a couple of new paper piecing patterns. I really want to do that more. I think I would really like paper piecing. I think it would help me achieve some of the issues I'm having with meeting corners and all that. Just, anyways, I want to try more paper piecing, but we'll see. So I definitely will go in and grab that and save it to make sure that I can watch it. And if you all have a channel, if you hit exclamation point selfie, your channel will pop up, like Danielle, Zaza, and all of you that have channels out there. Make sure that you're letting folks know. Kevmar said, oops, late. You're never late. As long as you get to get on and I get to shout your name out, that's what matters, right? Hey, Mary, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Oh, Ina says, I love the white Christmas shirt. Thank you. Thank you so much. I try to mix them up. I still have yet to find where half of them are. I got all of those washed, folded, ready to go in a new bin. And I'm hoping as we clean and do some organization this spring that I'll find the other ones. And if not, I'll just have to continue to build out more yet again. Pat said the B box was awesome. It was. Bella was amazing too. I agree. Danielle says, love those fabrics. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just fell in love with those. Kev Marth, be good. Hopefully we got to say goodbye to Mary before she jumped off. Sorry, guys. I got behind on chatting and piecing. Pat says, I got an advent box of Florida. They are having a party for all people that bought. Let us know how it goes. Their last day at the was a $50 gift card. I think you had said that the other day, and I think that's amazing. What a way to kind of build in a practice, right? I mean, I love the fact that Lynn gave away a couple of really nice televisions and that. I didn't even get the first bingo, so to be entered, you had to have 2 bingos. Even giving me additional numbers didn't help me this year, but that's okay. That's not why I got the box. I am not doing the Missouri Star box next year. I know it's $195 or $200. I think this was the best Missouri Star box they've had in a while, but it just didn't make sense to me. I don't want to do all of that. I don't know how Danielle and others feel, but I can tell you Vlogmas definitely takes it out of us to be so busy during the holidays with everything else and then trying to do unboxings and that. I don't know that I'll do them separate next year, but we'll see. I just kind of feel like it detracts and takes away from the specialness of each box too when you try to put them all together. And that's why I did Missouri Star in the morning, Soft Squares in the afternoon, and then ended up doing Keepsake, which I am absolutely not doing their box again. I've done theirs a couple of years in a row, and I only bought it this year because they said it was going to be a retro box, and I'm not sure what they consider retro, but what I got, I didn't consider retro. So it was not the box that I had anticipated, and so I'm sure there's others out there that may have liked it and it may resonate, and I would not take anything away from Keepsake, because again, you're trying to put together a box for a large audience that's got to appeal to folks on all different levels and that. And that's cool. It's just not, their box just didn't do that for me. And that's all good, all fine and dandy. All right, folks, we are getting at the top of the hour. I so appreciate you joining me. I will have a quick Happy New Year video coming out. I am hoping to, we won't go live at the retreat, but I do hope to be able to post a few shorts in that and let you see some of the things that we're doing for the retreat in that. Of course, we have several others scheduled for this year, or not this year, but for 26. So anxious to see what that looks like. Definitely need to be reaching out to getting some folks on the channel coming up. I've talked to Shannon over at to get on the channel, and a few others. I definitely need to have Zaza on, a few folks. So just a lot of reaching out I need to do. So guys, I appreciate you dropping in. I hope that you all have an amazing start to your week. I hope things are going well for you, and I can't wait to see you in the new year. And as always, until next time, happy crafting.